All right, so let's see what is going on with this video. What is that face she's making? She looks like she's singing. All right, let's say hi to YouTube fam. Hey, YouTube community, YouTube fam. How are you doing? YouTube friends, community, you know, what do you want to be called? The YouTube potatoes. I haven't watched this at all. Like, I've seen some people react to it. I hope it's not too cursed.
In my opinion, I think that, I don't know, there's something a little
Is
bit
she Australian? Okay.
like about a grown man to be playing games, and it is a huge turn off for me, and I'm bloody glad my man doesn't play video games.
Oh, fuck. It's literally just 12 seconds in. I want a guy who plays games. What are you talking about? I want a guy who plays games. Like, ugh, it's so boring if he doesn't. Classic boomer take. Did she look like a boomer? Maybe she wants a boomer. I don't know.
I don't have anything meaningful to say about this. I just want to tell her to shut up.
I would also tell her to shut up. But, you know, I mean, people are entitled to their own opinions. You know, you could just say like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not into guys who play video games. Like, that's fine. But to be like, and like guys shouldn't play games and you know, as you know, that's like verbatim of what she said, right? Why are you judging us for playing video games?
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual,
yes,
before
hell.
we launch in, today's video is sponsored by Manukora. And of
Manukora.
course by my company,
Rosie Hex, thank you for the follow.
Mwah. In addition to my regular
Like, why?
wonderful
Let them read
flavors,
and let
I
us
now
play
have
games, the
3
same
new
thing.
limited edition flavors
Escape to
that are
Fantasy
now
World.
available on the site for
I'm
pre-sale.
pretty sure she
I think they're
probably
all
reads
really
some
good, but I am a
erotica
huge fan of the peppermint white chocolate,
smut.
but you guys seem to be really excited about the bourbon barrel try. No surprises there. I also have these
I love
beautiful
ads.
wooden gift boxes.
I love
that are
tea,
available
honestly.
too for
My
pre-sale for
my
the
family,
holiday
we love to
season, or
drink
just
tea.
generally if you want
I
a
usually
beautiful
like
box.
black tea.
And
Do you
as
have
you
a
guys know, these are made
preferred
here in the
tea,
US
chat?
of
Do you
A,
like
and
tea?
the company that I work with plans
Some
a
hot
treat for
tea.
every order placed, which honestly I think is pretty cool. I will link all of this in the description box if you would like to support my channel and my tea
Iced
company.
tea.
It all means a lot, and I love you guys very much. Okay, back to the video.
T-bone.
Now,
What?
I know I'm slightly late to this conversation because it took place a couple weeks ago, but a lot of things were also happening during that time. Like the mystery of who is eating the cats.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
And I
What
needed to show you
that was so, that blindsided me. What? I'm sorry, what? What's happening?
all my breakdancing prowess, okay?
Oh, Jesus. She's so good.
Now, like I said,
The dog-
a few weeks ago,
the dog
the
is great, too.
conversation, or the debate, if you will, around men playing video games being unattractive was once again resurrected. This
Oh,
has been going on for quite some time, but periodically, someone, somewhere, for some reason, brings it back up. And every time this happens, it seems that people want to congregate around the idea that men playing video games is bad, and gaming is bad overall. Say the people who
Honestly, when I was young, my mom would say this all the time. Like, she's like, video games are bad, you know, computers bad, phones are bad. It's like, you are such a useless bum. You're destroying and rotting your brain because you play video games. It's like equating games to junk food. You know what I mean? It's like, for a long time in my childhood, or in my, like, at least until teenage years, I equated video games and watching shows as to junk food or something. Like, it's something that you shouldn't do. It's bad for you. But of course, I don't feel that way now because I think it has a specific place. And honestly, I think playing video games actually improves your eye-hand coordination. And I'm not trying to be a lawyer here, but I swear to God, because I didn't play a lot of video games growing up, I did watch my siblings play a lot. And now that I'm playing myself, I realize how fucking horrible my eye-hand coordination is. Like, there is so much brain power that you also need when playing video games. Like, looking at the screen, and it's multitasking with your brain. Because, like, games have mechanics that, you know, you wouldn't understand unless you've been playing games for a while. You know, like, it's so hard, and I really admire people who are so good at games because, oh, I can't do that with my brain. I can't. Like, it must take some level of, like, mental dexterity and exercising. Like, you know, I think gamers are smart. So when I realized that, I was like, why do people keep saying gaming is so bad for you? It'll make your brain rot. Like, I'll probably have less chances of getting Alzheimer's if I play games than just sitting here and doing nothing. Sorry for my rant. I just had to be the lawyer of my gamers out here. You're my clients, and I'm here to fucking defend you, whether you pay me or not.
Probably like crocheting or something. Depressingly, when I started looking for videos on this issue, I actually came across this bizarre trend on
Why
TikTok
is he
where
bouncing
women say
so
that their
much?
men being happy while playing games gives them the ick.
Ew!
So there's that.
Oh, she's giving me the ick. Seeing someone happy gives you the ick? Sounds like a toxic problem you have. I'm sorry. I'm so triggered. Okay, let me breathe. Let people enjoy what they enjoy. Let people be happy.
Shut up, kill yourself.
Just launch me to
You know what gives me the ick? Your asymmetrical eyebrows. Damn it. That's good. Damn. I like that. That's a pretty good burn.
Jupiter at this point. Anyway, this time the conversation started when conservative commentator Liz Wheeler posted a graph of the hobbies women reportedly find the least attractive. At the top of the list was playing video games, followed by
Okay, listen. I found the silver lining in this. Hey, looks like you gamer guys, there's not a lot of girls out there who like you. I like gamer guys. I mean, why don't you take a chance on me? I mean, more options for me, right? Like more chances for me. Yay.
collecting figurines, magic tricks, and online trolling. But apparently,
Online trolling. Why is online trolling so low? And why is book collecting here? What is wrong with these women? So you just don't want a guy to have hobbies. I see. Understandable. Have a good day. You don't want him to have a personality? Okay, understandable. Have a good day. You want a robot. That's what you want.
So that's a win for the birdophiles. I have absolutely no idea what bird enthusiasts are called. Birder. Well, at least that's memorable.
That's
I guess that's
horrible.
an improvement on what the trained people are called.
Birder.
Hooter tutors. This graph, which obviously is not based on real evidence, was posted along with Wheeler's commentary, which read, "This is 100% true. Men playing video games is peak unattractive, beyond red flag, like deal breaker zone. It's weird so many dudes don't get this."
Why?
You want to know what
It's
I
okay.
don't get?
It's okay, gamer guys. We don't want her anyways. How fucking arrogant of her to think we want her anyways. Why don't you just come with me? It's okay. I accept you. I'll even buy you games. They don't represent all women. Many women like to play games. That's true. A lot of women like to play games too.
Why it's taken me so long to hear about the wonderful sponsor of today's video, Manukora. I have spent most of my adult life in search of sugar. I'm kind of like
Sugar.
Smeagol from Lord of the Rings about it. Precious.
Oh my
And
God,
the
we're
older I
so
get, the more
opposite.
that I realize sugar's not that good for you. But what if I told you there was a sweet alternative
I
that
love
tasted
salty
good
food.
and was good for you? Well, there is.
Gamer
and it's
subs
called
joke.
Manukora. Manukora
God,
honey is
I put my own plug into it.
Your single
Gamer
origin
subs.
Manuka honey found only in New Zealand.
Gamer subs.
It's rich, creamy, and supercharged with unique antioxidants and prebiotics. It actually
Use
has
code
3
Husher for
times
10%
more
off.
than your average honey. So yeah, take that, normal honey. Manukora
Oh my
honey
God.
supports immunity,
Oh,
helps with
I
digestion,
know this honey.
boosts energy.
It's Manuka honey. I've tried it. It's really good. I love honey. I don't eat a lot of it because I try to watch my sugar because it kind of fucks up my emotional state more if I eat too much sugar. I don't know. And I'm more of a
and is
savory
great for
bitch.
assisting
I
with
like
inflammation.
salty.
It's also this
Quick question,
beautiful
chat.
golden color, and it's a
Savory
definite
or
game changer
sweet?
if you're anything like me and use honey in tea or on sandwiches.
Ooh.
I also like how my little starter pack
Sandwiches.
has this cute little spoon and these honey sticks, which could be completely cool if you're munching on the go. Best of all, Manucora honey has a natural antibacterial
Why
compound
not
called
both?
MGO that is only
ZB1,
found
thank
in
you for the
Manuka
follow.
honey. The higher the MGO count, the higher the levels of nutrients and antioxidants. And Manucora has some of the highest MGO honey on the market. And if you don't believe me, your Manucora lid has this little QR code that you can scan to trace
Go on,
your
scan
honey
it,
and all
everybody.
its
Scan
unique
it now, right now. I can't help it. I don't know what it is, but whenever I see a QR code, I'm just always tempted to scan it just to check if it does what it's supposed to do. Even though I don't care for it, I'm just like, ooh, a QR code. Let's see where it goes.
After a huge amount of
I'm more
pushback,
of a texture
Wheeler
taste
followed
kinda
up with a
guy.
few
Oh.
additional posts, including another tweet where a woman wrote, "Women don't dislike video games because they're geeky. We dislike them because they're antisocial and consumption-based. Like if
Consumption-based.
a woman said TikTok or online shopping was her hobby.
Oh my
Hobby
God.
should include actually
Ma'am, those are like two different things. Tell me you don't know gaming without telling me you don't know gaming. I'm gonna say it louder for the people in the back. People who judge other people's hobbies like this are people who have never tried the goddamn hobby. And they have the audacity to judge it. These are people who never tried it. You know, like they don't care about knowing more about it. They don't care about understanding it. They just want to judge it. All right.
doing, making, or learning something. Last time I checked, gaming is doing something? What is this? What am I even
Gaming is not doing anything.
reading here? Doubling
What
down
the
even
fuck does that
further,
even mean?
Wheeler also wrote that video games are sedentary, consumptive, fantasy steeped in immorality
Immorality?
that have serious negative real-world side effects on the men who play them. This tweet was very long, so I'm just going to summarize the generality of it, which was that video games are a net negative on society based on the fact that they
I'll read it for you. 4 in 10 American men between the ages of 80 and 50 playing with 3 hours. That's a lot. That's not a lot. 1 to 3 hours. I played Poppy Playtime and I barely finished a chapter in 3 hours. That's nothing. That's nothing. Maybe a bit bigger problem than I realized when I posted a meme. Yes, a meme. I'll laugh at the meme, funny meme that triggered you. But video games are a net negative in society when measured increase in aggressive behavior, desensitization to violence, anxiety, mood disorders, social. Oh wow, she went really deep.
They reportedly lead to aggressive behavior, desensitization to violence, anxiety, mood disorders, and so on and so forth. She also asserts that women are attracted to men based on a man's ability to protect, provide, produce, and procreate. Hobbies that
So you're not attracted to a guy based on their personality? I don't know. Don't understand.
illustrate that ability are attractive to women. Hobbies that do not are not. Not to be a jerk, at least not intentionally, but isn't reading sedentary? And isn't buying random female crap for your house consumptive? Do you want to
True.
go and have a conversation
Preach.
with the immoral smut reading ladies over on Book Talk?
Hey, I'm both, man. Hey, why am I catching strays here, all right? Damn, let me enjoy my goddamn smut. I also enjoy games, and I can do both because I consume them in moderate consumption levels, okay? Self-care is important.
Would you like to have a word? I really don't mean to be so sarcastic about all of this. It just really irritates me.
Oh, yeah,
Of
me
course,
too.
the icing on the
You and me,
cake here
sis.
is the entire live stream that Wheeler decided to make about this topic, addressing the blowback that she'd received and saying that lots of people were unkind to her about it and she didn't like that, which honestly, like, yeah, fair
Well,
enough.
to be fair, she was unkind first, right? She literally called out a group of people, generalized them, and told them that they were icky and they were bums and they were addicts. It's like, I don't know, kicking somebody and getting mad that they kicked you back. Ha.
This video is really long and she burned through a lot of points very quickly and we don't have time to unpack them, but I overall felt really irritated watching Wheeler's live stream. And my
I'm pretty sure if I watch her live stream, I don't know if my keyboard or my desk will survive that ordeal. So we're not going to do that.
takeaway was just generally, tell me you've never played video games without telling me you've never played video games. She again brought up
That's
that
what
it
I
makes
said
people
too.
more desensitized and prone to violence because apparently we're resurrecting 90s talking points. I don't know.
I also
thought we
heard
were
someone said in the chat, like, they've already disproved that, video games make people violent. I think it's actually a good outlet. Depends, okay? Like, I think competitive gaming makes people violent. But I think other types of gaming, like single player gaming, or like, playing Final Fantasy or Devil May Cry, it's bloody, Mortal Kombat maybe, and just having fun with your friends, those are violent games, but I don't think it makes people violent. Competitive game doesn't make people violent. The competitiveness aspect makes them violent. Same with some athletes playing like football or something. If they lose, they get angry. You're right. That's a very good argument. It's not that the game itself makes people aggressive. It's the competitiveness or the competitive aspect nature of the game, whether video games or sports, makes people violent. Every hobby has its own pros and cons. Every hobby is valid, but don't shit on other hobbies just because you don't like it.
this. Look, I don't know Liz personally, and so I don't want anyone to perceive this as me attacking her because she seems like a nice lady, but I do find her opinion and this extended opinion really frustrating. I think there's a trend on the right side of politics where some conservatives in particular like to fully reject and stomp on really important cultural and entertainment-based mediums. And even if the intention behind that is a noble one, I still think it comes across as really controlling and fun policing. Listen, even people with daddy issues don't want to be parented this hard. I mean, they do.
They want to be choked, but they don't want to be policed. Unless you're doing a police role play and you get them with the handcuffs. I mean, that sounds fun.
Want something hard, but it's not parenting.
Oh, God. Hey.
All of this to say, in the long run, I don't think it's very helpful, and I'm sure some of you will disagree with that, and that's okay. Feel free to scream at me in the comments.
No! No!
Anyway, about a week later, another video popped up where a woman called Bex from the radio show 102 Philly was similarly articulating why she doesn't like men playing video games. She said that it was lazy and generally unproductive.
But the whole game...
Yes, it is so lazy for a guy to spend 1,000 hours just trying to finish all the accomplishments so he can get 100% on a game. So lazy.
Gaming thing.
What's the problem? Jacqueline has this
Why
big
is her
problem too.
voice like that though?
Because
It's just lazy.
Is that a voice changer?
Like, unless you're getting paid, and there's a line, right? Like, it's cool if you want to do it every so often, but to me, I'm like, go educate. Like, go do something productive.
But what is the problem? Like, Jacqueline has a big
Okay, yeah, like it's just,
big problem with it too. Whenever she hears the PlayStation start up, like I gotta
Here
hear
we
the
go.
huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
But if I were to just have TV on, you'd be on TikTok as it is, not
Because
paying
it's
attention.
not that-
So why does it bother you?
Because it's not the distraction of me being on TikTok and us watching TV. It's what you could be doing with that time.
There it is, and that's I knew it.
It's
I knew
what
it.
you could-
You women want to task us so bad
no.
that you're so pissed
No,
that we're taking
no,
time
no.
from doing something.
No.
Wait a minute, you're enjoying things? You have time to do this video
see,
game?
here's the thing is-
Here's all the things you
But
could be
here's
doing.
the thing, you're enjoying it, but you could also be planning something nice for us. You know, like...
oh my God, it hurts to hear this, man. What am I listening to? What? I think I'm gonna vomit. Oh, what? How can people like her get partners and I can't? At this point, I'm questioning the man's taste. Like, damn, do you like suffering? You masochist?
You know, like,
Like I mentioned, this is not the first time that this type of criticism has come up. A couple years ago, 3 more women got a lot of heat online for making fun of men who game, with one of the women even suggesting there's a correlation between gaming and the being bad in the bedroom or having...
I'm gonna huff some copium for this. I can't handle it. I need oxygen.
having small male genitalia.
I'll be honest with you, not if I think of the top 10 best dicks I've ever had, they didn't play video games. So I'm convinced video games are for mediocre
Well,
dicks.
I grew up as a gamer, so it was okay with it. That was quite all right with me. I got excited
I don't know
too.
what grown man is spending that much time playing video games.
There's a lot
that
of grown men spending a lot of time
and
on
I
this
don't think
bullshit.
that
A lot.
I don't think that you could be a great partner or a great lover as a grown man spending time playing video games.
If you're like,
This is such a weird statement. Do you always judge the appropriateness of a hobby based on man pickles and their performance? Is this a legitimate...
I'm sorry, give me a second. I can't even talk right now. Well, what do I even say to that? Like, where do I even begin? I would have to write like a 10-page essay just to respond to that. Never mind. You know, I won't, because they don't deserve my energy. You know, why they don't deserve my energy? I don't need to defend myself or my fellow gamers out there to these women who don't deserve their dicks. Who don't deserve the gamer fingers. You know how that APM of those fingers, bitch, you don't understand. But anyways, I don't need to defend you. Just come with me. You know, why even bother with these kinds of people? Come with a person who appreciates you for you. But anyways, let's finish the video.
legitimate metric? Why are people like this? I mean it. Put me in the cannon and launch me to Jupiter. So I have a very vested interest in this topic, both as a woman and as a person who plays video games. So I do feel that it is pretty important to come to the defense of male gamers, and I guess just really any gamer
Don't
in
worry,
general.
guys. I am your
Because
lawyer.
if the criticisms
I got
that I've
you,
so far
fam.
highlighted in this video are anything to go by, I think people's perceptions of this industry and those who enjoy games are completely off base. And I think it's generally wild to say that gaming is not a hobby, and if it is, it's one that's overall unattractive to women. Because I would argue in many, many cases that is not true. I mean, first and foremost, the gaming industry as a whole has changed dramatically over the last few decades, and video games have accelerated in scale and quality during
Cuphead,
that time
let's
too.
go.
Rather than
Oh,
games
God of War,
appealing
let's
to
go.
a small portion of people, now anyone anywhere can play them,
Horizon
which
Zero
is why
Dawn,
the
let's
industry
go.
has become so enormous. There are so many different stories
Left 4
being told,
No,
so
no,
many
no, no.
different ideas
I almost called that Left 4 Dead. Last of Us, sorry. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Your lawyer is a little dumb. Don't worry, I still got you.
being explored, and let's remember, importantly, that the amount of women playing games
Oh, I don't
has
know this
also
one.
grown more and more,
What is
and
this?
is continuing to do so. And no, Animal Crossing and The Sims don't count as gaming. Please stop this. Point being, video games themselves...
Okay, hold up. I think Animal Crossing and Sims are games, so they're gaming. I mean, you play games. Still games, you know, they just have a different aesthetic, maybe a little more cozy and fluffy, and that's okay, right? I mean, some guys, some people like that.
and the gamers who play them come in all forms, and I don't think it's fair to tar everyone with the same brush. With that said, I do understand why some people, some being the operative word, find gaming to be an unattractive hobby, and I think there's a number of reasons
It's because they're unattractive too. Period. Slay. Joke. I'm kidding.
for that. Number one, when most of us millennials were growing up, which is what our friend Liz Wheeler is,
Oh, I know now why. It's because they're broke and they can't afford games. I see. No, I'm joking. It's because their tiny brain can't process how to play games. It's just too difficult for them. You know, we have to pity them. They're just not capable. Anyways, I'm just joking. I don't mean to insult them. It's just all fun and games.
We were only really then starting to see sort of a shift in the way that people viewed men and video games. Until this point, I think it's fair to say that gamers were largely associated with the basement-dwelling dorks who played World of Warcraft from dawn until dusk. And whether that view is true or not, whether it's fair or not, that's what was portrayed predominantly in media, entertainment, and by all the kids, all those boys that we went to high school with. I can actually testify to this because I fully remember my older brother sitting in the office all day playing WoW. And sometimes painting Warhammer. I think he still paints Warhammer. To be completely fair to my brother, because, you know, he will probably watch this video, he is in fact the reason why I like gaming at all. And I also remember sitting...
That is so relatable. Like, my brother also played World of Warcraft, but not as much. No, not. He didn't, like, play it for a very long time. All those games that I know... It's because I watched him play. I enjoy that. I really enjoy watching them play. It's like, that's my pastime. Like, if you asked me what my hobby was when I was a kid, my favorite hobby was watching them play games. It's so weird. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It's like, you get to see the fun without having the difficulty of doing it.
Next to him, watching him play Spyro, because... little sister. Now that I'm thinking about it, I also remember his LAN parties with his nerd friends. So really love aging myself there. Anyway, this type of visual and this messaging has definitely been ingrained in a lot of us because it's also what we were exposed to in pop culture. And it's probably why a bunch of elder millennials and people who are older than elder millennials especially view gamers through this lens. Actually, hilariously, when I was researching for this video, I found out that the attractiveness of male gamers and how much they game is still being studied because they guess this is a stereotype that never dies. The second reason, and I think this is more applicable across the board.
Henry Cavill has destroyed all of that stereotyping. Anyways, okay, let's finish this video because I've been talking too much. I talk too much.
It is unattractive to come home to your man sitting on his butt all day playing video games.
Okay, yeah, that's
true.
On
the weekends, gaming. All day, gaming. Every single weekend, gaming. Can't pull himself away for long enough to spend time with you or to be a father or a husband or whatever. When it becomes an addiction that consumes you, yes, that is a problem and that is unattractive.
That's true.
And this is the primary criticism that I find online when it comes to men and video games.
When my husband and I first got married, he was addicted to video games. So if your spouse is addicted to video games or sports or anything, listen to this.
But the thing is, if your man or a man doesn't have a gaming addiction, then what precisely is unattractive about this interest? At least in my experience, the women that I have come into contact with or that I'm friends with or that are in my family and whatever don't really view a man's interest in video games as a good or bad thing. What's most important is how he balances his gaming with his life and its many obligations.
Yes.
For example, back in 2020, a TikToker called Alyssa Nguyen actually had to come out and clarify that her gamer...
I've watched this. Like, I've watched this specific short, and I've watched this lady's short. She's great. She has children. She has a husband who games, and she's very sweet. Like, it's good. It's a very healthy relationship.
Her husband did indeed take care of her and her kids after she began uploading compilations of her bringing him his nightly dinners. She wrote, he does all his chores, daddy duties, and husband duties before getting on. One person even asked...
And that is more than some other guys do. No, that's more than some other partners do. If you love your family and you are a respectable person, responsible person, mature person, you do your responsibilities. You care for your family. And then you do your hobbies, which is normal, right? Like, it has nothing to do with being a gamer.
asked Nguyen if she was happy with the amount of time her husband gamed. Nguyen responded, "It doesn't bother me at all. He plays a couple hours a night after he gets home from a long shift." And honestly, I think this comment crystallizes a broader point. A lot of people, not only men, use video games as a way to alleviate anxiety, to decompress, to de-stress after a long day or a long week or whatever the case may be. And I can actually personally relate to this, and I've actually said this in other videos, where I find nothing more enjoyable after a particularly stressful day than jumping into whatever game I'm playing and just like hacking monsters to death, because it's cathartic and it stops me from committing murder. That is a joke, Mr. FBI man. I am making a joke. Jokes aside, in addition to
Don't worry, FBI. I'm only just gonna murder people in the game. I'm sorry. No. I swear I'm not violent.
It is a good form of escapism. I watched one particular TikTok where a guy was describing escapism in video games as a bad thing, using it as an indicator of depression or a person who hates their life.
Yes, I read books to escape. I am depressed as fuck, which is kind of true, but not anymore. No.
That very well might be the case sometimes. This just reiterates that men yearn for the mines. But again, why do people frown on this type of escapism, but not when it comes in the form of books or films or television shows? I genuinely feel like there's such an unfair double standard when it comes to gaming that isn't equally applied to other entertainment mediums.
I agree. I completely agree.
I'm gonna need you all to stop that. In my opinion, the bottom line here is that gaming is, in fact, a legitimate hobby. And I will argue till I am blue in the face with whoever I need to argue with that many of us ladies would much rather a guy who games in moderation than one who is down at the bar or at the club every single weekend getting drunk. If you are a man and you enjoy video games, that does not make you unattractive.
That is fucking League. Nah, he's a toxic gamer. Get him out of here. That's the Raptors. I know that's the Raptors. And why is the controller a controller? You don't play League on a controller, right? Wait, do you? Is that possible? There's a French streamer who plays every game with a controller, even League. Whoa, that's crazy. Ooh, oh my gosh.
It can actually be a really nice opportunity for bonding with your spouse or girlfriend.
He's actually
and I say this as
with
someone who freaking loves couch co-ops. Like, I recently played the Untitled Goose Game, and it was unironically a lot of fun. I have to stay away from the platformers though, because I just let everyone down.
Oh, that is so relatable.
That gaming is antisocial and will turn men into murder factories genuinely don't seem to understand the nature of gaming and how community-based and collaborative it often is these days. A lot of modern games have a ton of multiplayer features, and it allows you to do, like, you know, the teamwork.
Mario Party. Mario Party is one of the most blessed games. Overcooked, the game that destroys relationships. What a great game. It is a great game, but goddamn. Why is my kitchen floating in the air? Why is there a gap in the middle? I don't know.
In a time where people are super disconnected, the gaming world is actually pretty great at helping people make friends and create communities.
Exactly.
I'll say as well that there are apparently a bunch of other measurable benefits to playing games, like improvements to cognitive functioning.
See, I told you, gamers are smart.
Solving, impulse control, and so on and so forth, but I don't want to get into it, so I don't know, I guess I'll link some of these in the description and you can read them in your own time. There are definitely way more things to add about this specific topic, but the one that I want to leave you with, the last thought that I have here, is that I definitely think that there is an online trend where people can't stand to see men doing things that make them happy.
Men have video games and sports. What do women have?
What the fuck was that comment? Men have video games and what do women have? Are you stupid or what? You also have that. Ma'am, you do realize you can also play games. You can also play sports. See, this is what happens because she didn't game. She now her cognitive function is severely impaired. We can see here in Exhibit A that this lady has never touched a single video game or sport. So apparently her cognitive function is severely affected. I would like to present my case, your honor. Joke. My client is innocent.
I actually see this a lot on Twitter, but with relation to women, where people will post a video of women just doing something fun and silly and goofy and enjoying themselves.
Okay, and I genuinely think women is not the problem here because, of course, there's always problematic group of people, and I've said this a million times. There will always be the bad apples, right? There's always the ones that we do not claim, we're like, I don't know them. There's some gamers that are toxic, but not all gamers are toxic, right? There's just always bad and good people in every group of people. And that's just something for everyone to remember.
And then this onslaught of comments and responses are mad that the women are having fun. I see that a lot here with this issue, and I absolutely hate it when people do it to both of the sexes. Just shh. Let people enjoy things.
Yes.
Personally, I'm
Agree.
really glad that gaming has become such a positive outlet for so many people. And as far as unattractive interests go, I think it's worth remembering that when it comes to hobbies and relationships, any hobby can become an obstacle.
You know what's a hobby that I think is disgusting? People who eat joke. Let's finish the video. Oh my gosh. I became a tiny husher.
Much in the same way that it can also be an asset. If you enjoy something or have a hobby or have a special interest that gets in between you and somebody else, or it is an all-consuming thing that pushes everybody out of your life, well, yeah, I mean, that's a problem. But if you can take an interest or a hobby or a thing that you love and share it with somebody else in an engaging way, or in a way for yourself that passes time but doesn't fill it, I think that's really positive, and honestly, I think that's really all any of us actually want. In the end, if gaming...
The best memories I've had growing up was playing Mario Party with my siblings. And button mashing in Marvel vs. Capcom, which I always died and failed and got beaten up, and I would cry and get mad at my brother and say that they're unfair because they should have let me win because I'm a child. I also get mad when we play Mario Party because I'm like, no! Don't buy the star! That's my star! And then they steal my stars and then I start crying. Yes, good times, man. Good times.
Is a thing that you can share with your wife or girlfriend, a thing that you can use to decompress, or even something that has helped you build a really strong community with friendships and positive experiences. No woman in their right mind would consider that a problem. And if they do, I think that says much more about that woman than the gamer himself.
True.
Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out my new Quora using the link in the description. I unironically love this honey, so I'm really excited about this sponsorship, and I hope you guys love it as well if you decide to give it a crack. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Is gaming, in fact, unattractive? Are you one of these ladies who just thinks, yuck, I'm not interested, I'm not about this is terrible? Are you a guy who thinks it's unattractive and terrible? Are you somebody who really likes gaming and likes to share that with your loved ones? Are you somebody who maybe is on the addiction side of things and you can see how bad and damaging all of this can be? Do you think that the commentary around gaming is fair? Is it unfair? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them. I really like hearing your feedback, and you guys make me laugh. Of course, if you have any video suggestions or video ideas, feel free to let me know, because I do have a running list of those. And as always, I will see you wonderful pretty people in the next video.
I like reading the comments section. All right, hold on. Let me go back to my real form.
I like reading comment sections, so let's see what they have for us today. Women will shame men for playing video games, then go watch Kardashians and Bachelor. Oh yeah. Personally, I would rather play video games.